takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Tigers offense will get the first crack at it here. And Jesse, they've got a quarterback that if he can get into a rhythm can certainly make plays for his team.
Here's the thing about him, too. He's not the most consistent guy, and he's not the most talented quarterback in the country, but when he's hot, he's really, really tough to stop, David. It's important they get this guy going early.
Yeah, and it's not just him. Like, the offense has to, around him, play well. They've got to protect him. Receivers have to make plays. The running game would be good to get going, so it's got to be a team effort because then he can really be at his best.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Got it behind the line. It's Coleman. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
I love defenses that can tackle the catch. Right away, they're not giving up any yak. As soon as that player has the ball, he goes down now.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. The sure hands, it's Coleman. They'll pick up the first down as he gets it out to the 27-yard line. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
He'll keep it himself. Running to Green. Oh, he's got some space. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
All right, moving forward, this defense, they better be very aware when this quarterback decides to keep the football. That's a good decision by him, but now defensively, you not only have to worry about the running back, you got to worry about this quarterback getting to the perimeter and hurting you with his speed.
The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. They want to run it left here. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
How frustrating is that? You're that running back. Where were you supposed to go? There was absolutely no lane for him on that play.
This crowd knows when to bring it. Play action. Looking down the middle. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Tigers.
I mean, what a great way to start this game. Getting the football in the end zone, getting it to your big play wide receiver. Nice job by this offense.
Yeah, David, it just seems like this offense came out with a sense of urgency, right? They're playing with great energy, and it seemed like everything they dialed up on that drive worked perfectly. Really nice rhythm, really nice flow, and they cap it off with a touchdown pass.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 17-yard throw for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So the Arkansas Razorbacks offense will get the ball for the first time. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest.
There he goes!
winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Razorbacks can really attack on this second and short. He'll run it again. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
Well, this running back has been the only guy, obviously, who's touched the ball these first 2 plays. He's looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say everybody in the stadium here on third down expecting him to get the ball again.
And the Razorbacks are at the line trying to move the sticks on third and short. On third and short, the run and looking for the first down. And the defense stands up this offensive line and stuffs him right at the line of scrimmage. He didn't get it. The Razorbacks will line up to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He makes a fair catch, couple of steps inside his own 25 at the 23-yard line. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. Going right to work up top. Grabbed in the middle, it's Simmons. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Looking to throw on first down. They've got the screen set up. Finds a little space. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good gain there.
Well, they pick up the first down there on the screen. I love the offensive line there, allowing the pass rush to get way up the field. They completely baited their guys, made them think that they got beaten, that they were going to get the sack, and then they sneak the running back screen right in behind them and pick up the first.
Looking to throw on first down. Going to throw it over the top of the deep. Makes the grab down the left side. And he picks up enough for the first down. We'll see if they get another snap here in the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. They love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. They'll move the wide receiver. With the run on first and goal. Looking for the end zone. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Second and goal. Back to pass. Under fire. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Second and goal, no dice for this offense. If I'm on offense right now, I'm thinking about who are my mismatches, who are my big bodies out wide, that I can throw them the football and they can make a play over top of somebody.
Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Auburn! Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hit in the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished it off with the score from the 4. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
What a great play by one of their biggest playmakers in the D-line. I can say this personally. I got my first start in college at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It was brutal. I think about it, and I get PTSD to this day. When you get those types of athletes in a three-point stance rushing the quarterback with that crowd noise and your offensive tackles can't hear the snap count, it's not a lot of fun.
And the Razorbacks now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Takes a handoff. It's Russell. Pushes forward for 3 out to the 13.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, just not able to connect that time with his target on the in-breaking route. Got to have a little bit better rhythm. You know these windows are going to be small over the middle of the field, and that's why you try to put some extra mustard on it, but I think that time that's what forced the incomplete.
The Razorbacks will bring the punt team onto the field. That last punt basically flipped the field. They'd like to do it again. Looks it in at the 40. No chance for any kind of return there. They were all over him as soon as he caught the football. Leaves it with the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You know, when you're running counter, those offensive linemen crashing down, they've got to be able to pin those interior D linemen. They couldn't get it done there. They gave up too much penetration, and that led to the tackle for loss.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line.
Well, he was licking his chops. As soon as he saw blitz, he knew some guy was trying to cover him man-to-man. Ain't gonna happen. With his skill set, he's one of the best in the country, and that is just way too easy.
The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Wants to throw on first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Coleman. Turning it on. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays, the quarterback and his unit is executing, and this defense right now, they have no answers.
The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. Down to the 23 for this 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Simmons. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
That quarterback has a hose. That dude could throw it to a car wash and not get it wet. Great job of putting that ball on the line to his wide receiver.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Here's a quick throw out to the left. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical, they're too fast, and they force a negative play.
3rd down play in the red zone, and this crowd is at fever pitch. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And that'll not only be a first down, it'll be 1st and goal from the 7. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here's first and goal, and a touchdown here might put this thing out of reach by halftime. They'll try to get it in with the run. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play, and the linebacker able to make a nice tackle.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to fire. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And, man, the defense really needed to stop there. They needed to create some momentum, get the ball back to the offense before the half. But the offense does their job, and they continue to pile on, continue to create momentum. There's going to have to be some questions answered at half with this squad because it's been a struggle in the first half.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. So that's a 59-yard touchdown drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Finds a soft spot in the middle. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Pulls it in. It's Jones. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
To the air. It's Green. Gets it out quickly. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes, he's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Second down, they'll go to the air. They get to him as he throws. And the defense doesn't let him get loose, and that's going to wrap things up here in the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in Fayetteville. And this offense has been the story through 2 quarters, extending this lead and really dominating almost every aspect of this game. We're talking lethal efficiency from the O-line right on down to the skill position guys. Although I'd argue those big uglies up front are skilled players in their own right. And with that, let's hear another hog call and send it back to the guys in Razorback Stadium.
Just about set here in the second half as Auburn about to kick it off. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. To the air on first down. Flips it out on the screen. There's still plenty of time. You see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now.
Love the execution there on the screen. The running back shows pass protect, last second turns around, so he's able to get the ball. The D linemen have already run past him. Now he can turn upfield for a big gainer.
And the Razorbacks with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Unloads quickly. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. And this set of downs gets started from the 33, 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Complete to the left. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. Remember some of the years when the Hogs spent a lot of time in the Wildcat just running it? You don't have to do that with this guy at quarterback.
And it just makes you less predictable, right? You got a running back in there. You know you're not going to throw it very much, but when they do have the ability to push the ball down the field and get some guys out of the box, it makes this offense even more exciting.
Just a short pass to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
Fires to the big fella. Tackle is made at the 33. It's about a 5-yard pickup, and that'll be enough for a first down.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively, and right now they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
The give out of the gun. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Now, I tell you, Auburn is known for playmakers on defense, and one guy who could have a massive impact on a turnaround is Keldrick Falk. David, 7 sacks a year ago, could be a top 10 pick next year.
Yeah, it's just so fun. It seems like Auburn finds these guys every single year. They've always got those guys that are fast, that are athletic, that can run, and they build their defense around them, and this is a guy that they'll do it again this year, and that's why Auburn's defense is going to be good.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move, it's 1st and 10. On the move, it's Washington. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave a little bit of everything on that one.
Well, it's a really nice job of the offense mixing it up on this drive. We've seen some nice plays throwing it, and how about that one running it too? Great push up front.
The Razorbacks have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Trying to pound their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Razorbacks! Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments, and they go blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late, but at least you got the party started.
Getting set for the point after. And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. So it's an 80-yard drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Pulled it, finds his man on the left. Crosses the 30, he's got away. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Tigers, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Looking for a deep man. And he's got it at the 20. The sophomore making a big play and hauling in that pass.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Frazier. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
You can just see the command this guy has of the offense. He's been picking this defense apart, matriculating the ball down the field. He's now got him in the red zone, close to the goal line. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep letting him throw it.
They are really clicking along, 1st and goal on just the 4th play of the drive. Wide out trying to get it in. Touchdown, Auburn! And they take it in for 6 more points. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's coming out of the end zone. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Quick strike complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. That's the end of the period, and Auburn has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. To the air, it's Green. It's complete. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires to the tight end. And that's a very productive 1st down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Back to pass on 2nd down. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
Well, the defense really stepped up in this game. They knew they had to slow down this passing attack. They knew they had some matchups they were going to have to win one-on-one. They've been able to do that, and as a result, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards in this game.
And the Razorbacks come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the 4th quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. He's not afraid to go deep. A full dive to haul that one in.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Wants to throw again. On target to the left. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
This is an offense that has skill, and they've got speed, and because of that, this defense, they can't lull themselves to sleep. They've got a big lead here late, but they've now given up back-to-back big plays. They got to put the clamps down.
They use those back-to-back explosives to set them up first and goal. Dropping back, it's Green. Touchdown, Arkansas! Fitted in the window for the score.
I'm going to spread you sideline to sideline with all my speed, make you cover the whole field. Nice job by the offense, going with a little spread look, taking advantage of the speed they had on the field, and getting the big touchdown.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they trail by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick.
Well, they try to go onside kick, but that's why they're called the hands team. Great job recovering that ball.
They'll run it to keep the clock moving. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Caught behind the line. It's Simmons. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Sends it back in motion. On the direct snap, it's Coleman. Oh, and he's going backwards. Defense not fooled at all by the Wildcat.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Got his man on the right. Touchdown, Tigers! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. How about this Tiger quarterback etching his name alongside the greats and maybe wearing out Auburn with extra push-ups after all these points?
And you just think about those guys having those kind of days as Nick Marshall, Cam Newton, just superstars at the position. That's what kind of day he's having so far.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the 4th.
Auburn, 35, Arkansas, 14.
Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You've put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills, and they've got it at the receiver position. So if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Looking to pass. It's Green. Finds his big tight end. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
And it's all about coachable moments, and obviously they have not had a ton of success throwing the ball in this game, but as a coach, I think you're just looking for positives, like that play right there, even late in the game, taking your steps, making the right read, an accurate throw, positive plays that you can build upon offensively for the next game.
Catch in the middle, it's Jones. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown. That was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Looking downfield on first down. Quickly complete.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
The Razorbacks with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Looking for a chunk play on second and short. Got it in the middle, it's Blake. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. And the Razorbacks come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Russell. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
They're in the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 20. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Caught over the middle, it's Jones. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.